From Georgia, Mr. Hice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, based on the actions of Director Jarvis, I think further oversight of the National Park Service is desperately needed. This is actually my third hearing on this matter. As a part of oversight, we, of course, were here in June, but also Natural Resources Subcommittee. We were with Director Jarvis in May. And I want to thank Ms. Martin and Mr. Healy for your testimony this afternoon and what you've endured. But Director Reynolds, let me start with you. Based on your testimony, I know that you're aware of the sexual harassment cases, specifically at Cape Canaveral, the operation there. Can you tell me just how many complaints, total complaints, came from there, even you know, those that are ongoing or resolved cases?
Yes, Congressman. I believe there's about 3 complaints, but I believe there might be a few more IG reports that I'll follow up on a confirmation with you on that.
Okay, there's actually been 4. And in fact, the Washington Post reported in early July that 4 investigations there since 2012 is an unusually high number, they said, for such a small operation of the National Park Service. And as you just mentioned, these are just the ones that we know about. As has been testified to today, people are scared. Who knows how many other cases have been swept under the rug because of the culture of fear. During the time of these investigations since 2012, who was the superintendent in charge?
In 2012, I believe it was Superintendent Pelfrey.
That's correct. And I don't represent the good people of Florida, but just yesterday came across an article in the Florida Today, and they reported, like I said just yesterday, that Superintendent Pelfrey is promoted to a position of special assistant to the Southeast Regional Director. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as she has been promoted, she gets to work at home. She gets a comfortable $116,000 salary. And you mentioned in your testimony a few moments ago that the chief ranger at Cape Canaveral was no longer at the location there, but you failed to mention that the superintendent has received a promotion to the Southeast Regional Director. Do you know where the Southeast Regional Director office is located?
It's in Atlanta, and if I could offer, sir, that...
No, let me go on.
Okay.
It is in Atlanta, and that's in my backyard. And that raises a great deal of concern for me personally. You're also aware that Director Jarvis testified here in Congress over a book deal where he failed to secure proper permission for that book. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, my point in all of this is the pattern that is clearly unfolding before us. Obviously, under the direction of Director Jarvis, there's unaccountability, there's poor management, unsafe work environment, and that has permeated throughout the National Park Service. And what is the consequence from Director Jarvis? I mean, he gets a mere slap on the wrist. He has to go through some silly monthly ethics training once a month, watch a video or something for the duration of his time. And so here is what people are getting at the Park Service. These type of slaps on the wrist and or promotions. I mean, this is just insane. This is absolute insanity. And Mr. Chairman, on June 16th, I wrote a letter to the President Obama, asking for the resignation of Director Jarvis, and I actually have a copy of that letter here that I'd like to go in the record.
He's asking unanimous consent without objection, so ordered.
And while I understand Director Jarvis is going to retire in January, what we've heard yet again here today and what continues to be prevalent in the National Park Service, I just wanted on record that I stand by my position in requesting the immediate resignation of Director Jarvis. And with that, sir, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. We now recognize the gentleman from Vermont, Mr. Welsh, for 5 minutes.